What was that sound? Hello, my first grade friends, and welcome back to Library Class at Home with Mr. S. We are reading My Big Fat Zombie Goldfish. Yesterday, we read Chapter 1, and we were introduced to the major characters. There is the boy who's telling the story. His name is Tom. There is his nasty, evil older brother. His name is Mark. And when we last left off, Mark got himself a chemistry set, and Tom was worried that he might be turning super duper evil. So we're going to read Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called A Fish in a Bag. So here we go. Now, we'd had goldfish before. We won them at a church fair by throwing ping pong balls into little bowls they were swimming in. They didn't live very long, though. Mom said it was because fish all had concussions from being hit on the head with the ping pong balls. I had a concussion once when I was 4 after I accidentally ran into the front door that Mark had accidentally slammed shut just as he accidentally yelled, "Run, Tom, run!" That was back when he was just mostly evil. I remember the doctor shining a tiny flashlight into my eyes and then asking me if I could name all the Teletubbies. I told her that Teletubbies were lame and then threw up all over her shoes. Not to be evil, just because I had to. You know, she said I had a concussion. And I needed to stay in the hospital overnight so they could keep an eye on me. So the day after Mark got the chemistry set, he came home after school with a goldfish in a little plastic bag and headed straight upstairs. Mom and I followed. "Did you go to a fair?" I asked. "Moron." He shot me a look as he pulled his earphones out of his ears. "It's from the pet shop for school. Science week." "Why do you need?" Mom started to ask when Mark shoved a letter from his bag into her hand. She read aloud, "Class 7M will be doing experiments on the side effects of pollution on marine populations. Students will show photos of their experiments to the class tomorrow." She looked at Mark. Okay, if it's homework," she said, as she headed down the stairs. "At least you're doing something green." Mark put on his white scientist coat and took out his chemistry set. As he unpacked the box, I got that crawly millipede feeling in my stomach again. Mark should have done one of those evil scientist laughs at that point, but I guess he was still learning the ropes. Mom shouted from downstairs, "Mark, look after your brother while I run to the store. I'll be back soon." I heard the door close and I looked over at Mark. Normally, as soon as Mom left, Mark would start acting mostly evil to me. Like when he caught me reading his mint condition Return of the Attack of the Undead Zombie comic. He wrapped me up in beach towels and wedged me in the dog flap till the neighbors complained about my shouting and Mom had to come home from work to unwedge me. Oh, the good old mostly evil days. But now that he was an actual evil scientist, he was too busy to think of things to squeeze me into or trap me under. There was definitely less torture, but more shouting. "Touch nothing, moron," Mark growled at me as he went out into the hall closet. He came back with the old goldfish bowl, filled it in the bathroom sink, and dumped the fish inside. I pressed my face up against the glass. This goldfish was fatter than the ones from the fair. It had big bulging eyes and a long wavy tail with 3 fins. It kind of looked like a really ugly bug-eyed mermaid if you squinted enough. Then, as I squinted at the fish, it squinted back. Mark was too busy reading the back of a jar from his chemistry set to notice. The fish swam right up to the side of the bowl and peered at me through the glass, its little mouth opening and closing. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear it looked like the fish was saying, "Help me!" Mark unscrewed the lid of the jar. My millipede feeling got worse. He took out some test tubes and mixed up a bottle of truly evil-looking green mixture. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Ha, I'm polluting," he grunted, and tipped some of the green stuff into the water with the fish. "Stop! That could hurt the fish," I shouted, and tried to grab the bottle. Mark shoved me back onto the carpet with one hand while he added some brown powder and gray flakes to the fishbowl. I tried to get up, but he held me firm by pushing his size 7 sneakers down right on my chest. He grabbed his phone and snapped a picture of the fish swimming around in the gunky water. What will it do to the fish?" I gasped, with the last bit of the air left in my lungs. "I don't know," he said. "That's the experiment." He laughed an absolutely perfect evil scientist laugh. Ha 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 ha. Man, he was a fast learner. Then he put his phone back into his pocket. "I'll come back later and take another picture. Then I can flush it." Mark lifted his foot off my shirt and I sucked in a lungful of air. Flush what?" I sputtered. "Duh, the fish." He put his earphones in again and headed back down the stairs, shouting back, "Remember, touch nothing, moron. Got it?" "Got it," I said, but I totally didn't get it. I stood up and tried to rub off the footprint Mark had left on my t-shirt. Then I glanced over at the fishbowl. It didn't look good. The fish was squirming in the bowl and sucking in gulps of mucky water. Then it swam up to the glass again. I stared through the cloudy green water right into the fish's big bulging eyes and did the most dangerous thing I've ever done in my short life. I touched it. And that, boys and girls, is the end. Oh no, what do you think Mark is going to do to him when he finds out he touched his experiment? Why don't you leave me a comment on my Google Classroom page and tell me what you think is going to happen? You could also tell me what's going to happen to that poor fish. Anyway, we're going to find out tomorrow when we read Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Fish 911. Uh-oh. Check back in tomorrow, boys and girls. Don't forget to click the turned in button when you're done, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day.